The Assassination of Nadir Shah. The Persian Napoleon meets a knife. Spoiler, it was his own men. Nadir Shah, the man, the myth, the absolute chaos machine of 18th century Persia. Known as the Persian Napoleon, he was a military genius, a conqueror, and unfortunately, a deeply unpleasant human being. Think Alexander the Great's ambition, Genghis Khan's brutality, and your boss's worst temper tantrum, all wrapped in one extremely stab-worthy package. He clawed his way to the Persian throne in 1736, which sounds glamorous, but in reality involved a mix of ruthless military skill, political scheming, and a level of backstabbing that would make Game of Thrones look like a friendly tea party. Once crowned, he went on an unstoppable war spree, conquering lands, humiliating the Mughal Empire, and famously looting Delhi so hard in 1739 that Persia basically drowned in gold. Among the loot, the peacock throne and the Koh-i-Noor diamond, the kind of bling that says, yes, I am overcompensating. But here's the thing. While Nadir Shah was amazing at conquering, he was terrible at ruling. Over time, his paranoia levels went from suspicious neighbor to tinfoil hat enthusiast. He suspected everyone of plotting against him, family, friends, generals, probably even the royal cat. And when Nadir suspected you, let's just say you didn't get a gentle HR meeting. You got execution, mass punishments, or entire towns wiped off the map. By the late 1740s, his court was basically a mix of fear, resentment, and people daydreaming about stabbing him. And finally, in 1747, his own officers decided they'd had enough of Nadir's murderous mood swings. One night, while the Shah was asleep in his tent, they crept in and stabbed him to death. Multiple times, just to be sure. And that was that. The man who had terrorized empires, taken on entire kingdoms, and looted some of the richest cities in history was taken down by a handful of his own disgruntled men. Because sometimes the call really does come from inside the house. His death left Persia in chaos, his empire fragmented, and his enormous treasure hoard scattered across the region. But at least one thing was certain. In the history books, assassinated by his own people is a much shorter obituary than brutal conqueror who slowly alienated every single human being he met.